UFC Fight Night Des Moines, Iowa is this weekend. I'm going to give you my picks and predictions for the entire card. We're going to start with the first fight in the card, the earliest prelim. We're going to go all the way up to the main event, and it's another pretty good card, another card in front of a crowd, so I would expect the fights to actually deliver. I think Kansas City looked much better on paper, but I think these are going to be some great fights as well. I think we're going to get a bunch that deliver. My record overall is 109-51. I went 9-5 last week on Kansas City, which was not the best, especially compared to how a lot of other people went, but we're going to cook on this card. So we're starting with Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic. I'm going Ivana Petrovic. I think Juliana Miller is just not good. Like, I really don't. I think that season of Tough was one of the weakest that we've ever seen. She's lost twice in a row. Again, it was a good competition. Like, Veronica Hardy absolutely destroyed her. And then she also got TKO'd by Luana Santos in the first round. Getting TKO'd in the first round is not a recipe for success in women's MMA. You got Ivana Petrovic here, who in her last fight lost a split to Jamie Lynn Horth, who is a very physically strong fighter. It was a close fight. And Jamie Lynn Horth is massive. She's a very big girl for 125. So before that, Ivana Petrovic got a submission over Ling Na. She lost to Luana Carolina, who can be tricky. I rate the level of comp Petrovic has faced. I rate how much better she has looked in her fights. I watched Juliana Miller fight, and I have not been impressed once. I haven't. So I'm going to Ivana Petrovic to win this fight. I think she wins a 30-27 unanimous decision here. Moving on, Thomas Peterson versus Dontel Mays. Dontel Mays has just such an ugly record, man. It's such an ugly record, but he's fought some skilled guys, and he has a lot of reach, but I think Thomas Peterson's just better. I think he's a little bit, I don't even know if I want to say he's a little bit faster, but I think his head movement's a lot better. I do not like the reach here for Thomas Peterson. I think it's a massive disadvantage, but he does get in the pocket, and I think he can kind of slip and land some good shots of his own, as well as has success in the cardio in this fight. I haven't seen Thomas Peterson really gas out that bad. Lost the decision to Jamal Pogues, not great. Beat Muhammad Usman very easily. Lost to Gaziev, but had some moments of success landing. I think that Thomas Peterson's very good at being able to kind of push people against the cage and be physical in that octagon. I don't like the line in terms of a betting line, because minus 265 is just, it's too much for one of these coin flip heavyweight fights, but I'm going to pick Thomas Peterson to win. I think he wins a boring decision in this one. These fights may actually suck, now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to pick Thomas Peterson to win this one. I think he outlands Dontel Mays. I think he out-cardios Dontel Mays as well here, and I think Thomas Peterson's just, he's getting better each time he gets in the cage. I know he got flatlined by Shamil Gaziev, but Shamil Gaziev just, he's the GOAT. Like, he destroys Dontel Mays too, so Dontel Mays is a good plus 215 underdog if you're a betting man, but I'm going to pick in terms of like an actual prediction for this. I think Thomas Peterson's going to get it done. 29-28, split decision here. I think he's going to be able to use some wrestling in this fight too. I think he's going to be able to find some success in the grappling. So I'm going to go with Thomas Peterson to win this fight, 29-28 decision. Moving on, Gaston Bolaños versus Kong Lee. I'm going to go with the underdog pick of Kong Lee here. I understand that Gaston Bolaños beat Cortavius Romeus. I think that was a very bad fight. And I think he was good at being able to sprawl some of these takedowns, but I do think Gaston Bolaños is just very slow. Very, very slow. He can get grappled, and he can have some success in the grappling as well, but I think Kong Lee does a decent job of mixing it up. I think he's going to have some success in the takedowns here. I think he's going to be able to outspeed and outpace Gaston Bolaños. I don't think Gaston Bolaños is going to be able to chin Kong Lee here, and I think Ching Kong Lee. I don't think he's going to be able to chin Kong Lee, and I think that's his only path to victory in this fight. I don't think he outpaces Kong Lee. I think Kong Lee's going to be faster than him. I think he's going to be able to kind of stick and move, land takedowns, get in the pocket, land some good shots. I think he's going to be able to mix it up and have a good performance here against Gaston Bolaños. I know Kong Lee got chinned against Zhao Long. They had a fucking scrap. That was a good fight, and I like that when the chips are on the table, I like Kong Lee's willing to swing and bang. So I think that Kong Lee is going to be able to win this fight here. I could see him getting a finish, but I think he's going to win a decision here, 29-28 on two scorecards, 30-27 on another scorecard. I'm going to go with Kong Lee upset here. I'm going to pick him to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to do more. Every time I watch Gaston Bolaños fight, he's slow. He's very, very slow in his striking. So I'm going to pick Kong Lee to get it done. I think he gets us one done. So I'm going Kong Lee underdog pick here. Moving on, Marina Rodriguez versus Jillian Robertson. I'm going to go with another underdog of Marina Rodriguez here. I know her striking is supremely better than Jillian Robertson, whether it be in the boxing, the Muay Thai, the kickboxing. Her striking's much better. She lands kicks pretty decently, but her hands are fast, got really good knees in the clinch, good elbows. I think she's going to be able to find a finish on Jillian Robertson here. I think she's going to be able to find a TKO in maybe round 3. Now, Jillian Robertson's hot. She's very, very hot. Now, this matters. This does matter because when I see her Instagram, of course I follow her on Instagram. She's very, very attractive. I use this for the Polyana Viana thing, is she seems like, yes, fighting matters to her. She's a tremendous grappler, way better than Marina Rodriguez. But Marina Rodriguez didn't get submitted by Verna Jandiroba. I don't believe she got submitted by Mackenzie Dern. She lost to Jessica. She had 2 very close fights with Yasmin Lucinda, who's a good grappler, and then Jessica Andrade, who's a very good fighter. So she loses a split to Jessica Andrade, loses a split to Yasmin Lucindo, and Yasmin Lucindo was able to grapple in that fight, yes, but Marina Rodriguez had a ton of success in the grappling. I don't think Jillian Robertson's as physically strong as Yasmin Lucindo and Jessica Andrade, and that's where Marina Rodriguez has been losing fights, where she's out-physicality'd, I guess. She didn't get submitted by Verna Jandiroba. She got knocked out by Amanda Lemos. That was an early stoppage, and she was out-striking Amanda Lemos, but I don't know if I can say that. She had more power. Like, Marina Rodriguez doesn't get finished, and I think the path to victory for Jillian Robertson here is to get a submission. I don't think she's going to be able to hold Marina Rodriguez down the whole time. She beat Yan Xiaonan. She beat Mackenzie Dern. Like, she's not getting subbed by these top-level talent. She's faced much better competition. She is a much better striker, and I just think damage is going to be valued more. I can see Jillian Robertson getting some ground and pound off, though. I can see her latching up a submission. I just don't think it'll happen, though. And I think Jillian Robertson, when you look back at her fights, she's able to get Luana Pinheiro to the ground because Luana Pinheiro just consistently gasses out. When we go back to this fight, Luana Pinheiro has a serious cardio problem. She was 5 for 17 on takedowns. Some of these came later in the fight. She had good control time, 8.5 minutes, but she wasn't able to get the submission in this fight. She was able to get good ground and pound off, which she does, but it's very slow and it's not so damaging. Like, she doesn't land massive elbows. They're slow. They're little slicing elbows, and they're very slow. Like, she doesn't have insane fast twitch, and she's very, very hot. She smokes weed all the time and chills. And like, when you're always getting high, smoking weed, you make it a part of your personality trait. I wonder how serious training is. She destroyed Michelle Waterson-Gomez. It's Michelle Waterson. Like, who doesn't destroy her in this division, dude? Polyana Viana. Who doesn't destroy her? She loses to Tabitha Ricci, a decision here. Let's go to this fight. She got 30-27 on one judge's scorecard. Like, she got very well outstruck. She got out-grappled by Tabitha Ricci here as well, and Tabitha Ricci's not good at getting fights to the ground. So when I look at this fight, I know that Marina Rodriguez is going to be able to outstrike Jillian Robertson, no problem. And Jillian Robertson's very, very focused on, I don't know, I just look at her Instagram, and yes, she's focused on her fights, but I don't think she trains at the level of Marina Rodriguez. I think she's focused on the weed, smoking weed, right? She loves smoking weed, and I challenge cardio with that a lot. I do. And I challenge commitment. When you're smoking weed, sometimes you go in and you're learning the game of jiu-jitsu, yeah, but you're not always improving. You're just kind of in there to you're just in there because it's kind of fun to do. Whereas I think Marina Rodriguez, even though she's 38 years old and long in her MMA career, I think she's drilling to get better every time she's trying to win fights. She's fighting for her contract here. She's fighting for her spot in the rankings. Jillian Robertson, when I watch her, I just think, and I'm coming into the thing here too with her being a very attractive woman and her posting on Instagram like she's an attractive woman. It just makes me feel like she understands there's an OnlyFans fallback option here. I don't like that when it comes to fight commitment. I'm going to pick Marina Rodriguez to get this done. I think she finds a finish in round 3, TKO. I think there's going to be a point where Jillian Robertson's not able to get the takedowns anymore, and Marina Rodriguez puts a ton of volume on her and gets a TKO finish via volume. So I'm going to go Marina Rodriguez, round 3 TKO. Ryan Loder versus Azamat Bakoyev. The odds suggest that Azamat Bakoyev is going to go out there and smoke him. I don't think that happens. I do think that Ryan Loder's striking leaves a lot to be desired. He has great wrestling, though. Great wrestling. And he's used it to tremendous amount of success. Dominated Robert Valentin in the grappling. Got a fucking TKO. I think it was mounted crucifix. He lost a split. Like, his only loss is via a decision. Great wrestling pedigree and background. Am I going to go with another big underdog of Ryan Loder here? I'm going to pick Bakoyev. I think Bakoyev's on the juice. I do. I think Bakoyev's on the juice, and I think he's got a lot more pop in the striking. I think his striking's better. I think Loder might have some success in the takedowns, but I think Bakoyev's going to find a way to get back to his feet. I like his MMA experience too. 22 fights versus the 9 professional of Ryan Loder. He didn't get bullied by Zachary Reese. Zachary Reese is a big guy. I think I'm going to pick Bakoyev to get a TKO finish here. I think in like round 2. I think Loder's going to look good in round 1. But I think Bakoyev is just going to end up finding a shot in round 2 to hurt Ryan Loder, and he just goes in for the kill and gets the finish. So I'm going to go Azamat Bakoyev. I think his striking's a little bit better. He's definitely got more power, in my opinion. I'm going to actually say the wrestling pedigree is going to Ryan Loder here, which is crazy to look at a guy with Bakoyev's flag and say, no, he's going to get out-wrestled. There's definitely a world in which Ryan Loder wins. To me, this fight should be minus 150, plus 125. That's how I would make those odds. I think Bakoyev is going to get it done. I see him finding the knockout shot. I think, dude, he's very physically strong. I just don't think he's going to get bulldozed by Ryan Loder here. And that's where I see Loder winning fights, is being able to kind of bulldoze someone in the grappling and get to like a dominant position and landing ground and pound, having control. I think Bakoyev's just going to have like the random skill to be able to get back to his feet when he gets taken down, to put pressure on. And I think he's juicing. They don't test those guys over there. I think he's fucking juicing. When I watched that fight against Ryan Loder, this guy is against Zachary Reese, this guy is insane muscle mass. Insane muscle mass. Very physically strong and dominant. And he just looks like he's a juice head, dude. The size of his head, his neck. I think he's juicing, and I'm gonna pick the guy that's juicing in this fight. I'm gonna pick Bakoyev, round 2 TKO. And here we got Miesha Tate versus Yana Santos in Big 2025. How the fuck am I supposed to pick this fight, bro? Like, Yana Santos beat Chelsea Chandler, had a split with Carol Rosa, where I thought she lost pretty clearly. Decision by Holly Holm, TKO by Irene Aldana, somehow won against Ketlin Vieira a long time ago. I do question the commitment to the game. The problem is, I can't say that fucking Miesha Tate's been fully committed to the game either, because I think she's in this because she might need some money. I don't know, dude. I'm going to go Miesha Tate. We're in Des Moines, Iowa. We got a lot of wrestlers on the card. I think they're going to favor the wrestlers. I think this is going to be one of those nights where if you're able to out-grapple your opponent and they're not doing much on the feet, they're not going to score damage as much. So I'm going to pick Miesha Tate to just look awful on the feet, but be able to push against the cage, get the takedown, and control. So I'm going to pick a Miesha Tate 29-28 unanimous decision here. Over Yana Santos. Yana Santos could keep this on the outside, sticking and moving. I just don't think she's got the skill set, though. When I look at this fight with, like, Chelsea Chandler, God, this was, like, the worst card of last year. Look at how awful this card is, bro. Like, Yana Santos kind of stuck and moved. Yeah, she knocked her down, but it's fucking Chelsea Chandler. She stinks. She pieced up Chelsea Chandler, honestly. Pieced her up. Carol Rosa, let's see what happened on the, because I just don't remember this fight. I think she got fucking slaughtered, if I'm being real. She got split decision, but dude, honestly, she may piece up Miesha Tate. I don't know, man. Like, skill-wise, honestly, Yana Santos is better. She is better. And Miesha Tate's win, Julia Avila. Like, Julia Avila stinks. Against Lauren Murphy, incapable of causing harm to an opponent. She got dominated. Wasn't able to get her takedowns. Gosh. You know what? I'm going to pick Miesha Tate to be able to get this one to the ground. I think she can get it to the ground. I think she blitzes in, gets it to the back of the cage. It's going to be a bigger cage, but I think she's going to be able to out-grapple Yana Santos in this fight. I'm picking her to win a decision. I don't fucking care about that fight, honestly. It's just like an automatic loss on my record. I just don't fucking care about it. Oh, I can see Yana Santos keeping this on the outside the whole time, too. I feel like I should pick Yana Santos if I'm being real. Fuck it, dude. Honestly, I'm going to pick Yana Santos. You know what? I'm picking Yana Santos. She's fought more recently, right? She actually fought in August of 2024 against Chelsea Chandler and had success. Miesha Tate, she fought in December of 23. She's been out for a while. I just don't know how committed Miesha Tate is to the game. I'm going to pick Yana Santos, bro. I could see Miesha Tate getting a robbery decision, but honestly, I think this is going to be one of those ones where Miesha Tate may have some success in the grappling, but the cage is too big. It's going to look bad on her entries where she's going to get stuck with a couple of things like a jab and a counter two, a leg kick. I'm going to go with Yana Santos to win a decision. Fuck it, dude. It's going to be a split no matter what. Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones. I love that the hardest hitting 145er is back in the UFC. He's fighting at 155, but Mason Jones is a damn problem. I think Mason Jones is very, very good. He's been on a tear on the regional scene, destroying everybody in his path. He lost to Ludovic Klein and I think Mike Davis. 4-fight win streak in Cage Warriors, dominating his opponents. Beat David Onama. Great win. Lost to Mike Davis in a banger of a fight of the year candidate. Lost to Ludovic Klein. Like, that's not a bad loss, dude. Ludovic Klein's a monster. I'm going to pick Mason Jones to get this done by TKO. I like Jeremy Stephens a lot. I think he's got a little bit of momentum coming off that bare knuckle fight, but I don't think fighters are the same when they come back from bare knuckle, man. I don't. I think you just take some damage in that fight. Even though he beat Eddie Alvarez, still got hit a couple of times. I think that Mason Jones is a monster, and I think he's going to destroy Jeremy Stephens in this fight. I'm going to pick a round 2 TKO. I think Jeremy Stephens has a couple of moments where he's able to land, but I think Mason Jones is really just going to be able to chew the leg here, push Jeremy Stephens against the cage, land elbows in the clinch, separate, land good combinations. I'm going to pick Mason Jones to get it done here. I think he flatlines Jeremy Stephens, honestly. I'm going to go Mason Jones, round 2 TKO. This guy, Mason Jones, man, you better keep your eye out on him. If you remember him, then you know. If you don't remember him, keep your eyes open. This guy is a beast. This guy is destined for a ranking at lightweight. I'm telling you right now, he is destined for a ranking at lightweight. I think he's a monster. I think he's able to use his kicks, use his punches, use his grappling, and he has improved so much since his last stint in the UFC. I think we're going to see Mason Jones make a big run here in the UFC. So I'm going with Mason Jones, round 2 TKO over Jeremy Stephens. Moving on, Cameron Smotherman versus Sahir Sadeh. I'm actually going to pick Cameron Smotherman. I was pretty impressed with his performance against Jake Hadley, being able to kind of put Jake Hadley on the back. And Jake Hadley likes to take the back foot. But I think Cameron Smotherman does throw good volume, where Sahir Sadeh also likes to throw good volume, but I think Smotherman lands harder. I'm going to be brutally honest. I think Smotherman is a better boxer. I think he's more physically strong and dominant, more physically imposing, and I think he's going to be able to control the octagon here. And I think Sahir Sadeh is going to have a problem being on his bike in the later round, so I think Sahir Sadeh might look good in the first round, landing low kicks, jabs at range, Shooting for take. Actually, it's not. This isn't going to take out on the. This isn't going to take place on the ground. I think Smotherman, if it does, it's going to be Smotherman pressing against the cage. I'm going to go Cameron Smotherman to win this fight by decision. I'm picking another underdog here. I think Cameron Smotherman's going to be able to 29-28 Sahir Sadeh. It's going to be a good performance. I think Sahir Sadeh wins the first round, but I think as this fight goes on, Cameron Smotherman's going to be on the front foot, making reads. And that's one of the things that I really liked about Cameron Smotherman as well, is his ability to make reads in the Hadley fight and pull away in the later rounds. So I'm going to go with Cameron Smotherman. I think he's going to be able to outbox Sahir Sadeh here, outpower him, out-physicality him, and I think he's going to have the octagon control, so I'm going to go Cameron Smotherman to win a decision here, 29-28. Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. I'm picking Montel Jackson, man. I think Daniel Marcos has had a couple of fights where he may not have entirely won it. We're going to talk about Daniel Marcos here. Split decision against Adrian Yanez. I think he won, but it was very, very close, and I don't like that in a decision against Adrian Yanez. John Castaneda, he won a close fight with John Castaneda. He was beating up Arichi Long. He arguably lost. I think he kind of lost to Davey Grant when you watch that fight back. I think Davey Grant ended up getting the better of him. Other than that, he beat Simon Oliveira. I got to say, Daniel Marcos' activity is very, very good. It's good to see him be very active. But level of competition here against Simon Oliveira, not the best. Great comp going right into a Davey Grant fight, but he lost. You know what I mean? He lost. Arichi Long, he beat. It was an illegal strike or something like that. John Castaneda, close fight, won. Close fight, though. Adrian Yanez, very close fight. He's fought some decent guys. You know what? He's fought some decent comp, but I don't think he's fought someone that's as tricky as Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson fights very long. He has an insane reach, and he has a ton of power. And I think Montel Jackson has improved a lot in the octagon. I like Montel Jackson's grappling ability in this fight, and I like his power in the striking. I think Daniel Marcos is pretty fast. I think Montel Jackson's faster. I think Daniel Marcos is good. I just think Montel Jackson's better. I think he throws really good straight punches down the middle, lightning 1-2s. You saw it in the fight against Damone Blackshear. He threw a lightning 1-2 and flatlined Damone Blackshear early in that fight. And Damone Blackshear is a good fighter. I think that Daniel Marcos is just going to, I think he's going to lose here. I really do. And I can honestly see him getting chinned. I know he hasn't been chinned yet, but Montel Jackson has crazy speed. And Marcos got rocked by Adrian Yanez. Pure boxing. I think Adrian Yanez is better boxing than Montel Jackson. But I think that the power goes to Montel Jackson. And the speed is there too. So with the size, with the reach, with the ability to, with the power, with the grappling ability, everything to me points to Montel Jackson in this fight. So I'm going to take Montel Jackson. I'm going to take him by TKO in round 2 here. Moving on, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio started as an underdog in this fight, went to a favorite, and I'm going to pick Ponzinibbio. He's here in 2025, man, he found a way to get a win over Carlston Harris. He was getting outstruck by Carlston Harris, but then he KO'd him. He's still got a little bit of pop, dude. He throws good low kicks, his timing isn't bad, and he's figuring it out, man. Like, he gets in there and he kind of just figures it out sometimes. I thought he beat Muslim Salikov. I did. Thought it was a little bit of a robbery there. Not a robbery, but it was a close fight. I thought he beat Muslim Salikov in this fight. He got chinned by Kevin Holland, but he was having a bunch of success against Kevin Holland in that fight. Arguably 1-1. I thought, you know what, it was 1-1 going into 3. And Kevin Holland ended up chinning him just because he's older. I don't think D-Rod's chinning him. I think D-Rod kind of stinks. I do. I'm never impressed at D-Rod, bro. When you go back to look at D-Rod's record, who do you look good against? Like, he beat Alex Morona, won a split in a close fight. Lost to Kelvin Gastelum. Got KO'd by Ian Gary. Subbed by Neil Magny. He lost this fight to the Leech. Like, his fights are just not impressive. I'm going Ponzinibbio to win this fight. I think listen, I know they're the same age, but Ponzi's the vet, right? He's the vet. Been in there longer, had more fights, against better competition, in my opinion. I'm going to pick Ponzinibbio to win this fight. I think he's going to chew the legs of D-Rod. That's the thing. You can chew D-Rod's legs. I think Ponzi's going to chew the legs of D-Rod, be able to stick the jab, and land a couple of looping hooks that really start to hurt D-Rod at moments. And I think Ponzi's going to win a decision here. 30-27, 29-28. I'm going Santiago Ponzinibbio. I wouldn't put it past a robbery for Daniel Rodriguez, but I'm going to go Santiago Ponzinibbio here. The co-main event, Renier de Ridder versus Bo Nickel. Now, I'm a fan of Bo Nickel. A lot of people don't like him. I do. I like Bo Nickel. Do I think his personality is the best for the sport? No. I like his confidence. A lot of cockiness, though. You know what I mean? Now, I do understand Renier de Ridder is massive. Looks massive next to Bo Nickel. He's going to look massive in terms of the height. When he puts on the weight in the cage, he's going to look huge as well. He's a great grappler. I think Bo's going to be able to outstrike him at moments in this fight. I also think Bo's going to be able to mix up the wrestling, and I think Bo's been working in every single minute that he gets more to improve is a minute that's going to be worse for the middleweight division. So I think Bo's going to win this fight. I think he wins a decision here, though. I think Renier can take a round. I really do think Renier de Ridder can take a round off him here, throw up some good submissions, stall some takedowns, have a couple of moments in the striking, but I think Bo's going to be able to win this. I think his boxing is going to look better. I think Renier looks insane when he strikes, almost DDP-esque. Those are a lot of the comparisons people make, but I just don't think Renier's getting this one done. I think Bo's going to win this in multiple different facets. I think we're going to see a 29-28 decision, 30-27 on a judge's scorecard. And I wouldn't put it past there to be a robbery. We're in Des Moines, Iowa. It's very close to Penn State University where Bo Nickel wrestles. The UFC wants Bo Nickel to win. Bo Nickel to win. Iowa, the wrestling community, that area wants the wrestler Bo Nickel to win, to bring more eyes to the sports. They look at this Division I wrestler making it. Everything to me is just pointing for Bo Nickel to win this fight. The UFC want him to win. The commission's going to want him to win. He is talented, like he is very, very good. I think he can stay out. I think Renier de Ridder's submission game is very good from top position. I think from bottom position, it's not as great. It's great. It is great, but it's not at the level at which his top game submission is. So I think Bo Nickel, I just don't see Bo Nickel being on the bottom. I see him being able to get these takedowns, and I see Bo Nickel being able to have moments where he's holding Renier de Ridder to the ground, passing over, trying to get an arm triangle, doesn't necessarily get it, landing some ground and pound, getting back to the feet, trying to have some success on the feet. So I'm going to pick Bo Nickel to win this fight by decision here. I think he's going to get it done. Renier de Ridder's good, man. This is by far his toughest test, and at these odds, it's a good-looking underdog to take, but I'm gonna pick Bo Nickel to get it done by decision. And lastly, the most disrespectful odds I've ever seen, Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. Yes, I'm picking Corey Sandhagen to win. I think he's a better striker. I think he's a great counter grappler too. Umar wasn't really able to hold Sandhagen down that well. So I'm going to pick Sandhagen to win this. I think he's going to be able to stay on the outside, pepper the jab, land the low kicks, sprawl, defend the takedowns, be able to get up when he does get taken down, land knees up the middle. I'm going to pick Sandhagen to win a 49-46 decision. I think it's going to be one of those ones where he really wins every round, but one of the rounds, Figueiredo looks better than the rest. So the judges think, Figueiredo won that round because he looks better than he did the other ones. But I do think that Corey Sandhagen's going to be able to really dominate this fight. I think he's not as well as Petr Yan was able to do it. Think Figgy's going to have some moments where he's able to land to the face, land to the body, shoot takedowns, land low kicks. But I think there are moments where when you move a lot, when you're switching stances a lot, you're throwing different things at Davison Figueiredo. He gets caught watching in the fight a lot. He gets caught measuring you a lot, trying to make reads, and he loses minutes doing that, whereas Sandhagen's always moving, going to throw a lot of different looks at you, feints, stance switches, up kicks, front kicks, knees, low kicks, body kick, spinning kicks. He's going to throw a lot of different things at you, which I think Davison Figueiredo is going to be trying to make reads for too long in the first two rounds, where he's going to drop those rounds. Sandhagen's going to win another one, maybe two more, and Figueiredo might have some success at the end of the fight. But I think Sandhagen's got better cardio than Figueiredo too. So at the end of the day, I think this is the tailor-made matchup for Corey Sandhagen to win. I think he's going to outpoint Davison Figueiredo here. He's going to look good. It's going to be a masterclass motion here. It might get a little dull. I can see it getting a little dull, very point fighty, but it's going to be very technically good. So I'm going to pick Corey Sandhagen to win this fight here. 49-46 decision. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. These are the picks and predictions for UFC Des Moines. We should have a pretty decent card lined up.